Recently you sent an envoy to India, and then the Secretary of State is going there. Are you sending them a message for resuming the dialogue with Pakistan?
Well, what we have said is that we think that all of South Asia would benefit by reduced tensions between India and Pakistan.
And the dialogue?
Well, I think that dialogue is the best way to reduce tensions. And so, you know, we're hopeful that Prime Minister Singh and President Zardari, they recently had an opportunity to meet briefly. It wasn't an extensive conversation, but it was the start of what may end up being more productive conversations in the future.
Mr. President, Pakistan's nuclear weapons are a cause of concern. Do you actually see the possibility that one day the Taliban may take over those weapons? And if you see that happening, will you actually try to seize those weapons before the Taliban do?
Well, I wouldn't engage in hypotheticals like that. I have confidence that the Pakistani government has safeguarded its nuclear arsenal. That is Pakistan's nuclear arsenal. And what I do have concerns about is making sure that the Taliban and other extremist organizations aren't taking root in South Asia, in Afghanistan, in the Middle East, and we want to partner with everybody to make sure that this cancer does not grow. You know, one of the things that I said in my speech in Cairo is that you know, Islam has an extraordinary tradition of tolerance and peaceful coexistence. And that tradition is being distorted and being warped. Now, the United States, we do not want to be in a position where we're having to send troops to Afghanistan, for example. We would love the Afghan government to be secure and stable so that it can ensure that it does not become a safe haven for organizations like Al-Qaeda. We would much prefer being a partner with countries like Afghanistan or Pakistan and simply work together on issues of common interest like commerce and increasing trade and improving development in all countries. But it's very difficult to do that if you have people who have distorted you know, a great religion and are now trying to wreak havoc not only in the West, but most often directed against fellow Muslims in places like Pakistan. And that is something that we will always stand against.
That happened as a statement by the Iranian Supreme Leader saying that the United States is intervening, was an intervention in their domestic affair, and that the elections were fair and free, and there was no need for this protest from the United States.
Well, first of all, I think that what's been happening in Iran is remarkable. To see hundreds of thousands of people in peaceful protest against an election that was obviously raised a lot of doubts tells us that this is an issue that the Iranian people care deeply about. I think the United States and the West have been very clear that this is not an issue between the West and Iran. This is an issue about the Iranian people seeking justice, that they want to make sure that their voices are heard. And, you know, it's unfortunate that there are some inside Iran and inside that government that want to use the West and the United States as an excuse. But I've been very clear. We respect Iran's sovereignty, but we also are witnessing peaceful demonstrations, people expressing themselves, and I stand for that universal principle that people should have a voice in their own lives and their own destiny. And I hope that the international community recognizes that we need to stand behind peaceful protests and be opposed to violence or repression.
So do you believe the elections were unfair?
Well, you know, we didn't have international observers there, but beyond the election, what's clear is that the Iranian people are wanting to express themselves, and it is critical as they seek justice and they seek an opportunity to express themselves that that's respected and not met with violence.